Yes, that Karim used his political connections to assist in influencing Matlala's 360 million rand SAPS Health Services contract. Karim's relationship with suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner Shadrack Sabir and Brown Mokhotsi will also be investigated at the Commission. Arun Singh, Eyewitness News.
Staying with the Commission in the capital, the section head for quality management at SAPS, Rachel Majeng, has told the Madlanga Commission she had a romantic relationship with alleged crime boss Vusmusi Kat Matlala. But Majeng insists she played no role in him scoring a 360 million rand tender with the police service. Majeng is testifying at the Commission in Pretoria this morning. The inquiry was established to probe possible criminal infiltration in the country's justice system. The focus for today has been on an irregular multi-million rand health tender awarded to Matlala's company Medicare 24 in June 2024. Majeng says she met Matlala in 2017, way before she became SAPS sectional head for quality management.
We then started talking with Kat and ended having a romantic relationship. We had an on and off cycle relationship. Sometimes we will even get a year break from one another without talking to each other.
Majeng says she never played any role in the awarding of the tender to Matlala's company.
It must be noted that I was not part of the bid specification committee or bid evaluation committee nor bid adjudication committee, and was not aware of the service providers that submitted the bids for the tender.
Back in the courts, the pre-trial hearing of alleged crime kingpin Katiso KT Molefe has been postponed to next month. Molefe and his three co-accused made a brief appearance in the Johannesburg High Court today. They're facing 35 charges ranging from murder to conspiracy to commit murder. Molefe is accused of calling a hit on popular musicians DJ Sambodi and DJ Vintos, whose real names were Opa Safoka and Hector Buthelezi respectively. Khomotso Modise has more.
Today was Katiso KT Molefe's first appearance in the Johannesburg High Court since his matter was transferred for trial. Molefe arrived at the Johannesburg High Court in a bulletproof vest, escorted by a convoy. He and his co-accused, Diego Mabusela, Musa Kekana and Michael Dau, also stand accused of the murders of Vereeniging engineer Armand Swapt and Johannesburg businessman Don Dinleni. But today, the case against them was not ready for pre-trial hearing. The court heard that disclosures of the docket would be made from tomorrow. The matter has been postponed to the 12th of March for pre-trial. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News at the Johannesburg High Court.
In the Western Cape, organisation Friends of Zeekoevlei and Rondevlei are raising concerns of polluted water at the wetland. The group says the water has turned green and has a foul odour due to sewage inflow. Chairperson Sydney Jacobs says the city's interventions have so far been insufficient. He adds that the sewage makes its way from the Lotus River.
There's an area called Sweet Home where there is 3 huge stormwater pipes, and coming out of those stormwater pipes is sewage. Our rough conservative estimation says there's about 6 million litres of liquid, take note I'm not using the word water, coming down the Big Lotus and into Zeekoevlei.
Jacobs adds that the Vlei is overflowing.
The sewage is making sure that Zeekoevlei, which at this time of the year, all other years, is about 200-300 millimeters lower than what it should be now. Zeekoevlei is overflowing, and there's not been any rains. We've had a really dry season, but Zeekoevlei is overflowing.
Staying in the province, Cape Town officials say the water network is expected to hold until the winter rains, but rising consumption levels remain a concern. Dam levels are at around 60%. Water and Sanitation MMC Zahid Badruddin says although experts recommend that water restrictions be implemented by the 1st of November, a review on whether restrictions are necessary will be presented between June and July. He adds that the second phase of water-saving interventions is underway.
Since November, we've sort of been communicating softly, encouraging, motivating our residents to voluntarily reduce their water usage through awareness campaigns, making sure that these inspectors are actually targeting big water guzzlers within our municipality.
Badruddin adds that in order to implement water restrictions, a decision must be made together with the Water and Sanitation Department.
Restrictions are last resort for us in the city. I agree with you, it's not something that we should leave too late to make the call.
Gold's trading at $4,861.17 an ounce. The rand's at 16.15 to the dollar, at 21.90 to the pound, at 19.03 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $68.53 a barrel.
Well, at this stage, if you are leaving the Edenville area heading towards Bedford View, expect some delays. R24 westbound between Edenville Road and the Gululis interchange. While in the mother city, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic on the elevated freeway heading into the Cape Town CBD. And the R62 Montague Bridge is flooded. This is due to the excessive rainfall in the Cape Town area. So rather use Van Riebeck Road as an alternative.
A look at your weather. It's a partly cloudy Thursday afternoon in Gauteng. Today, temperatures are peaking at highs between 30 and 31 degrees. It's a partly cloudy afternoon in the mother city today with fresh southerly winds at a high of 29 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour. It's News Justine. Police are en route to a scene in Boksburg of what is believed to be an attempted hit on a man who was implicated in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. You're with Mandy Wiener on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger, think Nedbank Commercial Banking. On the show today, an attempted hit to the man implicated at the Madlanga inquiry. Cops on the scene in Boksburg. A police officer testifies about her romantic relationship with alleged crime boss Kat Matlala. Diane Kohler-Barnard is before the ad hoc committee today. The DA announcing its Western Cape mayoral candidates and an update on NSFAS. All of that over the next hour.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app, DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Report on 702 and Cape Talk with me, Mandy Wiener. Good to be with you today. It's a movie. I don't even know where to start today. So, on the one hand, you've got an attempted hit that has apparently taken place on one of the men that has been implicated in the testimony at the Madlanga inquiry. We'll explain to you in a minute who that is. And then you've got a police officer testifying at the Madlanga inquiry about how she had a romantic relationship which involved money payments and gifts of Ozempic from Kat Matlala to her. How desperate must you be to be willing to go before the nation and testify about how you had a romantic relationship with a crime boss, allegedly, because you're trying to explain why payments were made to you? There's so much going on. And then Diane Kohler-Barnard is testifying before the ad hoc committee. And then Katie Molefe has been in court. We'll take you through all of that. But let's start with this developing story out of Boksburg at the moment, where the Gauteng Police Commissioner is on the scene. It looks like what we know at this stage, an attempted hit on one of the people who has been mentioned in testimony at the Madlanga inquiry. I'll give you some context to that in a minute, but let's first go to Tabiso Goba, EWN reporter, who's on the scene there. Tabiso, where exactly are you in Boksburg and what do we know?
Good afternoon, Mandy. Unfortunately, I haven't made it exactly to the scene as where we are, but I am currently en route to the scene where there was an attempted hit on a Mr. Weandre Pretorius. Now, we do know, as you've explained, that Mr. Weandre Pretorius was implicated in the testimony of the late Witness D being a Marius van der Merwe, who unfortunately was killed last year. And what Mr. Marius van der Merwe testified to the Madlanga Commission was that Mr. Weandre Pretorius was part of the people who allegedly assaulting and torturing another person that he was with. And we do know from the commission, Jeremy Michaels, the Madlanga Commission spokesperson, he has spoken and told the media that he is aware of the attempted hit on Mr. Weandre Pretorius and that the commission is in touch with Mr. Weandre Pretorius and his legal representatives. Unfortunately, he can't say much at this point, but the Madlanga Commission is aware. And as you can imagine, Mandy, we've already had a situation where there was a witness that was killed in the Madlanga Commission. So obviously a bit of a troubling situation. But as I said, I am en route to the scene as we speak right now.
Okay, we'll let you get to the scene. Thank you for chatting to us, Tabiso. Tabiso's been covering the Madlanga inquiry today. He's been talking about the testimony there. He's now en route to that scene in Boksburg at the moment. There is an audio clip that's doing the rounds at the moment. We're going to try and just process that quickly and play it for you as well to give you a sense of what's going on. But I want to just try and make sense of this for you, because I had to try and make sense of it for myself about who is Viandre Pretorius. So they've tried to kill this guy today, allegedly. Who is he and why is it important? Now, remember, there was another inquiry witness that was shot and killed last year in November. His name was Marius Vlam van der Merwe. Now, Marius Vlam van der Merwe, he went to the ad hoc, to Madlanga, and he testified about this incident that had taken place in an operation in a place called Sully's Village on the East Rand. And it was at this incident where these security company bosses and these police officers, allegedly under the oversight of JMPD Chief Julius Mkhwanazi, had come to sort out the scene. And there was what seemed like waterboarding that took place. There was apartheid-style torture. Marius van der Merwe said he witnessed Viandre Pretorius doing this, and he implicated Viandre Pretorius, and he spoke about this. Ultimately, somebody landed up dying. A body had to be discarded, and now all the people that were involved in that incident seem to be somebody's cleaning house. Something's going on here, because we know now that Marius Vlam van der Merwe was killed, and now it seems as though Viandre Pretorius, there's been some kind of an attempt on him. Oren Singh is joining us in studio now. Oren, you've been covering this inquiry throughout. There was a kind of broad overview of Viandre Pretorius and who he is. It seems as though he is ostensibly a member of the flying squad of the police. Is he a police officer? What exactly is he?
I don't believe he is a police officer, Mandy. I know that he was implicated. He in inverted commas, presents himself as a member of SAPS, but as far as we understand, he's not a member of SAPS, nor is he a reservist, as far as we understand. But you correctly pointed out that during Marius van der Merwe's testimony before the Madlanga Commission under Witness D, where he testified remotely from an undisclosed location, he implicated several people as being in the house on that evening or early parts of the morning in Brakpan, where this interrogation process took place and where this man was essentially tortured and killed, and then instructed, allegedly by Julius Mkhwanazi, to load this man's body onto his bakkie and dump it into a river. That's what Marius van der Merwe told us. But Viandre Pretorius, frantic voice note coming through this morning. It circulated on many crime groups and through to many private security officers. And he sounds very frantic in the voice note, claiming that, his bakkie has been shot at numerous times and he suspects it was either hijacking or attempted hit. But we'll let you have a listen to it and make your own conclusions on that.
Guys, number 13 Klapper Street Van Dyke Park. Please come and assist me here. 13 Klapper Street Van Dyke Park. They shot my bakkie up. They shot, I don't know if it's a hit or something. I managed to get out.
Okay, so that's him say. I mean, this has got shades of Brown Makhotsi to it. We don't know at this stage what exactly has happened. We know that the Gauteng Police Commissioner is on the scene, and that they seem to be taking this very, very seriously. And in light of the fact that there have been a number of hits and attempted hits already around the commission.
That's true, Mandy. But also bearing in mind that all the people that were alleged to be in that home when that interrogation happened on that evening are being investigated. Forms part of an IPID investigation, who earlier this week said they've concluded their investigation into this, and they'll be formalizing their report and presenting it to the relevant people around the murder of that individual in Brakpan in 2024.
Now, you've also been covering something else related to the inquiry, and that's to do with the Northwest businessman Suleiman Karim. He went to court to try and stop his testimony. What's happened there?
He's failed, and I think too much of I wouldn't say happiness, but too much of much of relief from the Madlanga Commission, because should this urgent interdict preventing him from appearing before the Commission have been granted by the High Court, it would have set a precedent. And I think the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry were concerned about whether the High Court would grant him that urgent interdict and that he wouldn't have to appear. But he failed this morning, and the High Court judgment saying that it wasn't an urgent matter, and therefore it was struck off the roll. And he'll have to appear before the Commission tomorrow to talk about his relationships with Vusimuzi Matlala, suspended Police Minister Senzo Mkunu, as well as the Deputy National Police Commissioner Shadrack Sibia.
Oren, thank you very much. Oren Singh, EWN reporter. I'm going to take you to the Madlanga inquiry shortly, to the actual testimony, because that's explosive in itself. But before we do that, just staying on this attempted hit, I see on ENCA, top brass from the police are answering questions. I'm not sure exactly what's being said, but let's just have a listen in there quickly.
We're investigating the case, and it's clearly that there is a need for a witness to go through a witness protection. We will, of course, do the necessary, linking up with the NPA, and from there, the NPA will take the process forward in terms of witness protection.
PC, was there anything else that was found at the scene? You spoke about the car being shot at 16 times, if I heard you correctly. Anything else that was found at the scene? Obviously, nothing was taken from the man who was inside the vehicle?
That's far based on the interview of the victim. Nothing was taken. And of course, when you're having a shooting incident or exchange of fire, you'll of course get the cartridges on the crime scene, and obviously that we do have. And currently the vehicle on which the victim was using is part of the crime scene being processed. As you can see that the local criminal record center crime scene management, they are here on the crime scene in ensuring that they comb up the scene so that it can assist investigation. Maybe safe to say that we have put the team together. I would say a team which is competent based on us in order to investigate the issues relating to the witness deed. That's why I say we are on an advanced stage, and not so long we'll be in a position to can inform the public. But other than that, based on our interview with the victim, nothing was taken.
Commissioner Muluko Moloto here on ENCA. Do you suspect as the police that possibly there's a coordinated syndicate here trying to perhaps get rid of evidence as authorities are investigating in evidence that's emerging out of the Madlanga Commission?
That question to say it's a coordinated syndicate to remove the evidence, I will say is something which we are probing, which we are looking at, and as for now, it's not something which I can confirm to say there is such evidence or there's a such allegation as such, but it's something which, of course, we'll have to look on. As I've said, that we have put these competent investigators under to investigate this case as well as the case for witness D.
And I know, Commissioner, you really don't want to be dropped into the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, but the least that we know is that this particular gentleman whose life was attempted on was implicated by the late witness D. And allegations therefore were that he was essentially placed at the crime scene of the man whose body was later dumped in this area of Geordin. How far are you with the investigation regarding this particular gentleman?
You're speaking of the two cases, the alleged dumping of the body in a dam. That case is being investigated by IPIT. But safe to say, if you are indicating that the name is the name which have been indicated or implicated in Madlanga Commission, as I've indicated, it will be safe really to link up with the spokesperson, and maybe you can get something out of that. So the case of somebody dumped into the dam is a separate case, of which that case is investigated by IPIT. And I think yesterday they've issued the media statement in terms of the progress relating to the investigation. And as the South African Police Service, we are, of course, investigating the case of the death of Witness D.
And I'm going back to the Madlanga Commission, I'm afraid, Commissioner. The late Witness D had said that this particular person had always presented himself as a police officer. Is he a policeman or not?
Which person, Moloko?
The person whose life was attempted.
Today?
Yes.
Yeah. The victim is not a police officer. And drawing me back to Madlanga Commission, I'll also refer you back to Madlanga Commission. You must take note that
So that's the Gauteng Police Commissioner Tommy Mtombeni taking questions there on the scene in Ekurhuleni of this attempted hit on Viandre Pretorius, giving a little bit of context there. Viandre Pretorius, of course, was implicated by Witness D. Witness D has been killed in what is evidently a contract killing or an assassination that took place. So is somebody trying to clean house at the Madlanga inquiry? It's all to do with this one incident that we told you about, the people that were present there involving the EMPD boss, Julius Mkwanazi. So what is your take on that? We'll take you to the Madlanga Commission itself, but for now, send us a WhatsApp voice note. Let me know what you think about that situation.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
Hi, afternoon, Mandy and team. Regarding this testimony of is it the constable or the lady there? The simplest way to check is she's doing forensics, right? Check which crimes she did that are related to Ket Mandlala. Then check when the payments came in. Simple. That's how we're gonna get it.
Real growth needs more than just banking, and Nedbank Commercial Banking is your growth partner. Their team of industry experts understand your business and its potential, offering insight to help you see opportunity where others see obstacles. Because when you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
What better way to get the jewel started in 2026 than in the new Haval Jolian Pro? Turn heads with next level design, plus tech features like a 12.3-inch infotainment touchscreen and a panoramic sunroof. Available from only 4,799 Rand per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM. Go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank, an authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
When tax issues get complex, you need more than general advice. You need specialist insight. AJM turns intricate tax challenges into clear strategic solutions. From disputes and litigation to long-term planning, our expertise protects what matters to you and your business. With teams in Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Namibia, we deliver the rigorous analysis high-stakes decisions demand. AJM. Complex tax matters simply resolved.
On average, you'll spend 83,200 hours working. That's 3,466 days. 20% of that time will be spent in meetings that should have been emails. 10% spent aligning on the misalignment the previous meeting caused. And the rest of the time, waiting for your laptop to update so you can resend that extremely urgent presentation due yesterday because your boss forgot to download it 2 weeks ago. And now, the link has expired. Oh. Life taxes you, so invest tax-free from as little as 250 Rand per month.
Coronation. Trust is earned.
Coronation is an authorized FSP.
And now, it's back to Mandy Wiener on the Midday Report.
This is 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Well, staying on the Madlanga Commission now, the section head for quality management at the police, Rachel Macheng, is giving evidence today. And I mean, if you've been following this evidence today. So she now admits that, or says, she had a romantic relationship with the alleged crime boss, Vusimuzi Kat Matlala, but she's adamant that she didn't play any kind of role in him getting a 360 million rand tender with the police service. So she's been explaining how she came to know Kat Matlala and how their relationship started. Take a listen.
I met Mr. Matlala early in the year 2017 through a colleague who downloaded my photo on her WhatsApp status. The following day, she told me that my picture have attracted a lot of people and there is a guy named Kat who requested her my contact. She asked for my permission if she should give him my contact. I then asked more information about this Kat guy, and she briefly described him. I then gave her permission to give Mr. Matlala my contact number. We then started talking with Kat and ended having a romantic relationship. We had an on and off cycle relationship. Sometimes we will even get a year break from one another without talking to each other. The romantic relationship is still in existence before his arrest. Mr. Matlala is romantic and showered me with gifts, including money. The romantic relationship...
Not only did he shower her with money, according to a News 24 report, he also arranged the delivery of Ozempic for her in March last year. He gifted her 100,000 rand. All of this coming out in a News 24 report, and now she's testifying about this herself. Is it just her explanation of why the money was paid to her? Do you buy the story of the romantic relationship? Well, let's take a listen in now to the current testimony at the commission.
Pay and send proof of payment today. Over the page, at page 10, at 10:51, so this is the following day, 11 Jan 2025, you say, I spoke to Mudieri and she didn't receive it. Given my desperate situation, I thought you will gladly assist me. I guess once more, I don't deserve to be assisted by you. It's okay. He responds at 10:53, what you mean, Diva? And 10:53, he says, they made payment in front of me. I don't know why you saying such things. That money is going to reflect it, so we can please be patient. And then there's a call, and then on the following day, on the 12th of Jan at 18:10, he says, please ask your friend to check the balance. I just got notification that the transaction went through. And you respond at 18:15, yes, got it, thank you very much and apologies. So from this exchange, it doesn't seem that you didn't get the money as intended.
No, the money went into the bank account of Osizweni Butcher, and the owner confirmed that she did receive the money, or the money is in her account.
So are you suggesting that when you say to him, yes, got it, thank you very much, you meant you had just confirmed with your friend that the money is in her account?
That's correct.
And then, did you then say to him at any point that this money didn't get to me?
Yes, I did.
And this wasn't, I guess, in any of, it's not in the text.
Yeah, it's not on the text, but I did say to him that Mudieri has been complaining that you are owing her a lot of money and she's not going to give me that money.
Sure. Brigadier Rachel Maching, aka Diva, as Kat Matlala used to refer to her in WhatsApp messages, currently giving evidence before the Madlanga Commission. 12:31, time for Eyewitness News headlines.
Thanks, Mandy. Good afternoon. We begin in the East Strand, where police are on the scene in Boksburg of what is believed to be an attempted hit on a man who was implicated in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. This after Boyandre Pretorius, implicated during the testimony of slain witness Marius van der Merwe, was allegedly shot at during what he describes as a possible hit on his life this morning. Pretorius is under investigation along with several others in connection with the murder of a man in Brakpan in 2024. In the National Assembly, DA Member of Parliament Diane Kohler Barnard has told Parliament's police at her committee that she never mishandled classified intelligence information and the information was already in the public domain. Kohler Barnard is currently on the hot seat before the ad hoc committee to face allegations related to crime intelligence and the purchase of a luxury hotel by the unit for 23 million rand using the secret fund. Kohler Barnard was accused by KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi of sharing the information and also being part of a criminal syndicate. And the families of the Lily Mine 3 that were buried alive in 2016 are still camped outside the site 10 years after the tragedy. Today marks a decade since Preeti Nkambule, Yvonne Mnisi and Solomon Nyirenda were last seen at the mine. In February 2016, a crown pillar underground collapsed and dragged down a container the three were working. Their remains were never retrieved. Those are the headlines. This Eyewitness News and more at 1 o'clock or as it happens.
EWN Sport.
Good afternoon, I'm Mawande Mateza. Kaizer Chiefs co-coach Cedric Kaze says his team can't afford to dwell on their defeat in the Nedbank Cup. Amakosi's title defence came to an end in the round of 32 where they were stunned 2-1 by Stellenbosch FC in Cape Town. Ibrahim Jabbar's penalty and a spectacular strike from Devon Titus were enough to see Stellies through as Chiefs missed a number of gilt-edged opportunities. And Kazi says they have to turn their attention quickly to their upcoming CAF Confederation Cup match against Al Masry this weekend.
We had to post like 2 or 3 times. It's an unlucky day, but if I'm unlucky, it's a knockout game, and unfortunately we are out of the competition. But we have to look forward because Sunday is coming very quickly with a massive game that we have in the Confederation Cup.
Mamelodi Sundowns beat lower division side Gomora United 2-1 in the night's other game. Nigerian goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali has been released by Chippa United. The club agreed to terminate the player's contract at his request. And the Proteas have a bit of work to do ahead of their T20 World Cup opener against Canada on Monday. The South Africans lost to co-hosts India by 30 runs in their final warm-up game last night after they were restricted to 210 for 7 after India posted 240 for 5. Proteas consultant Albie Morkel.
We tried a few things tonight, which we were happy about. Yeah, but I think it's back to the drawing board for us. Get feedback from the bowlers as well. I think that's important. They're the guys that's out in the field, and then populate plans from there.
The men's T20 World Cup starts on Saturday with Pakistan playing the Netherlands. Mawande Mateza, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
Well, at this hour in Pretoria, heading towards Bronkhorstspruit, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N4 eastbound between Donkerhoek and the R515. So avoid that route if you can. There's also slow-moving traffic that's driving through the Sandton Melrose area, heading towards the Joburg CBD on the M1 southbound between Grayston Drive and Ethel Oakland. There's also slow-moving traffic that's in the Mother City on the elevated freeway heading into the Cape Town CBD. The R62 Montague Bridge is flooded at this stage due to the ongoing rain. So motorists are advised to rather use Van Riebeck Road. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. Time. When you're a kid, it moves slower than a sloth trying to get through airport security. There is just so much of it. Skip forward a few years to your 20s. Time is still your friend. It says have some balance. Go party and have fun. Then your 30s hit. And time suddenly steps on the accelerator like it's trying to catch a traffic light before it goes red. 40s. Now time is moving faster than your 10-year-old on a sugar high. 50. You're desperately trying to save as much as you can, but time is moving so fast. And all you can think is, where did all the time go? That's why after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time for some much-deserved you time. Now, isn't that a compelling enough reason to invest? Ellen Gray, long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
Your office is more than just a place to work. It's a reflection of your success. At Desk and Chair, we help you elevate your workspace with locally manufactured desks and a wide range of chairs to suit your style and budget. Our expert consultants are with you every step of the way, from planning to delivery and assembly. Visit our showroom in Midrand or shop online at deskandchair.co.za. Desk and Chair. Think, feel, work better.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a nervous but excited first-time driver waiting for the perfect gap to switch lanes.
I can do this.
The pressure. The Outsurance pointsman knows it's not just a car in traffic. It's a sense of freedom and independence on the move. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
WhatsApp Mandy
on 072 702 1702.
Good afternoon, Mandy. This witness that's testifying today at Madlanga Commission reminds me of Yaki Kwinana. This is all typed up information. This is not a testimony. Somebody typed that for her and she's getting lost in this whole translation. Thanks. It's Marlon from Winchester Hills.
Good afternoon, Mandy. Pat here from Sprayview. Now, listening to this lady, I listened to her clip and all what she's saying doesn't make sense at all with their relationship. Sometimes takes a year without not talking to each other. And there was a bit of money involved there. No, please, we are not kids. No, she's actually dick and diving. And then there was some shenanigans between there. Absolutely. But the truth will come out.
Guys, we've been through the most with inquiries. I remember Kwinana, the Fit Cook lady, and her testimony. This one's going to be remembered for trying to say she had a romantic relationship with Kat Matlala, who he refers to her apparently as diva, and delivered Ozempic to her and paid her money. And now she's trying to explain that money by saying that she was in a romantic relationship with her. I mean, what was the power that Kat Matlala had? We were just talking about it in studio. Like, he had so much power over both men and women, so much influence. He had so many people beholden to him. Is it just money? Is it more complicated than that? Sometimes people have just got this aura about them, and they've got the chutzpah to be willing to buy people off in this way. What was it about Kat Matlala that so many people have been compromised by him?
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
The Democratic Alliance, which is, of course, still reeling from that decision yesterday by John Steenhuisen, announcing that he is not going to run for a third term as leader of the Democratic Alliance. Well, today the DA is announcing its mayoral candidates for the Western Cape. The big question, of course, is Geordin Hill-Lewis, and will he stand again for mayor of Cape Town if he is being lobbied in the way that he is to be the leader of the Democratic Alliance. So Geordin Hill-Lewis put out quite a long tweet about this today. I'm just going to read you one line. It says, if I do stand for election, no, that's not the one I wanted to read you. It's essentially where he says that he's going to continue to stand for, I found it. Well done me. I will remain committed to stand for a second term as the mayor of Cape Town, whatever is decided. So, in other words, it's no great mystery. Lindsay Dentlinger, EWN reporter, is following the story for us. Lindsay, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your time. Has the DA announced who's going to be its mayoral candidates in the Western Cape?
No, Mandy, you're going to have to wait a little longer. Of the 30 municipalities in the Western Cape, they've only announced 8 of them today. It's the start of the process. And the provincial leader here, Tertia Simmers, and the federal chairperson, Ivan Meyer, saying they are starting with the outlying municipalities, the ones, for example, Neisner's candidate mentioned today, where the DA wants to eliminate hung councils. There are several in the province. 80% of the municipalities are either governed by the DA in this province or in a coalition or outright. And so they have named 8 of them, and we can expect probably the Metro choice to be made last. This process is expected to last until the end of March, until they have named all the mayoral candidates, for the municipalities in the upcoming elections in this province.
And as expected, of course, all the speculations around Geordin Hill-Lewis. Will he run for mayor of Cape Town again? I think he's taken the mystery out of that.
Yeah, so Ivan Meyer, the federal chairperson, was asked about Geordin Hill-Lewis today. We saw a very uncharacteristic DA leader, John Steenhuisen, here today, making a few remarks and then dashing off, much as we saw him in Durban yesterday. And so Ivan Meyer saying he did not want to speak for Geordin Hill-Lewis. They believe that he's a very trusted candidate for the mayorship in Cape Town and a good candidate to continue. But as you pointed out in that tweet by Geordin Hill-Lewis today, saying that, it's a very rigorous process and he intends to abide by that. And that is something that the DA has pointed out here today. All these candidates have gone through processes of interviews and the like, and it's not just party members just being picked out of a hat to lead these municipalities. So Geordin Hill-Lewis making it very clear that he intends to stand or to submit his application is the way the process works in the DA to stand for a second term, but how that might meld with possible ambitions and the lobby that is now in overdrive to convince him to also stand as the party's federal leader. That still remains to be seen, Mandy.
Lindsay, thank you very much. Lindsay Dentlinger, EWN reporter, waiting for the DA to go through that announcement in full of the mayoral candidates for the Western Cape. Just to give you more of a sense of that tweet from Geordin Hill-Lewis, he says, after John Steenhuisen's announcement yesterday, I have been approached by many party members to stand for the position of federal leader. The DA's internal campaign rules stipulate that public campaigning may only begin when the nomination period opens. That will happen later this month, which is when I will announce my intentions. So he's made it quite clear that he hasn't decided yet what to actually do. And it's been 24 hours now. The DA has had some time, and analysts have had some time to process that announcement. A very interesting analysis coming from various quarters. One that stood out for me was from Peter du Toit from News 24, in which he looks at the future of the Democratic Alliance and what will need to be done by a leader going forward. And Peter joins us now, assistant editor for News 24 Investigations. Peter, good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for your time. Where does John Steenhuisen's indication now that he's not going to stand for another term, where does it leave the Democratic Alliance going into, firstly, the local government elections, and then into the GNU, and whether it stays there or not?
Good afternoon, Mandy. It's good to be with you. Look, I think that the DA is in pretty good shape, to be honest. The leadership transition that kicked off yesterday. Remember, John Steenhuisen will remain as DA leader until April, when they have their federal Congress, where they will elect new leaders. This leadership transition could not, I think, have gone any better for a political party, as it has gone for the DA over the last 24 hours. The pressure on John Steenhuisen, as we all know, has been building up in recent times. I think there were 3 particular issues that put a particular amount of pressure on him. The first one being obviously the Dion George affair into his own and the party finances. The second one, the outbreak of foot and mouth disease and his department's response to that, and the response from a particular constituency which scared the DA. And then thirdly, an increased belief inside of the party that the DA needs to be more, as some strategists have said to me, more muscular and stronger in the GNU in resisting ANC policies. Now, those three issues in combination led to Steenhuisen resigning, and I think this could have been much worse. Not that this is a bad transition, but this could have been acrimonious, and it really was not acrimonious. If you listen to Steenhuisen's speech yesterday, he was very gracious about the support that he's been getting from the party. There's been no real acrimonious responses from people inside of the party. I think the party will move forward very quickly, and I really do think that, politics is a very cruel environment, Mandy, as you well know. The story is now about Geordin Hill-Lewis and not about John Steenhuisen anymore.
It really is, and it's almost as if he's been anointed. Some have written that it's the funders who've identified them. But are we now expecting what could be a pretty bruising succession battle now within the DA? Is it straight up going to be Geordin Hill-Lewis? We know that it's deeply factionalized. Could we see other candidates coming forward? And if so, how distracting could that be for the DA?
Look, I really don't think that we'll see a bruising leadership battle. As far as I understand, Celia Brink, who is the mayoral candidate for Tshwane, has already thrown his weight behind Geordin Hill-Lewis. We know that Helen Zille is a mayoral candidate and still a powerful figure in the party, has a strong historical relationship with Hill-Lewis. The only other serious candidate I can think of is Solium Simanga, who's also been very vocal in his admiration, at least, for Hill-Lewis. So I do not think that we'll see a bruising leadership battle. And my expectation is that Hill-Lewis would like public debate, or at least some form of public discourse or internal discourse between possible candidates to try and thrash out some ideological and or other policy issues within the party. But I don't think we'll see a bruising battle right up until April. And once that is concluded, Mandy, it's 7-8 months in the run-up to the municipal election, which we're expecting to be held in November or early December this year, which gives them ample time to settle the party, to get in behind the new leader's vision, and to launch an election campaign. So, I think that, as I said earlier, the leadership transition has been pretty well managed, unremarkable and uncontroversial. And my expectation is that, you used the word anointed, that it will be a pretty smooth run into the ANC's leadership Congress in April.
Peter, thank you so much. As always, Peter du Toit, Assistant Editor at News 24 Investigations, speaking to us there about his column today, looking at Geordin Hill-Lewis. Is it it's a given that Geordin Hill-Lewis is going to be the main contender? I don't know. I mean, it seems as though he's been anointed. Could we see other candidates? Could we see a Solly Malatsi, a Siviwe Gwahube, other people from within the DA stepping up?
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a work commuter. She's done this route 1,000 times. Perhaps she's daydreaming of a different job or just counting down to the weekend. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just another car in traffic. It's anticipation on the move. Every story's different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
This year is the year. I'll be catching flights and not feelings, serving looks Monday to Sunday, 5 a.m. club. Small things. I'll be awake before a Hadida can even say, this year things are gonna change.
Okay, so what would you like to order then?
Just hit me with the usual. Kota chicken, single chips, and a roll.
Oh, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Get the Nando's flame grilled quarter chicken, single chips and roll for only 82 Rand. Nando's. Oh, what a place.
Do you suffer from heartburn and hyperacidity? To relieve heartburn for the whole day and night with one tablet, a potent once-a-day treatment which was previously prescription only is now available over the counter. Ask your pharmacist for an over-the-counter, long-lasting heartburn treatment. Brought to you by Sandoz.
Small businesses are anything but small. They're the backbone of our communities, the dreamers, the doers, the ones who keep Mzansi moving forward. That's why 702 and Capitec Business Banking are putting them in the spotlight. Every Thursday between 6 and 8 p.m. catch Small Business Focus with Capitec, where we showcase the hustle, heart, and the secrets to thriving in today's economy. Your vision matters. And with Capitec, you're never building it alone. Small business focus with Capitec, the business bank for everyone. Thursdays between 6 and 8 p.m. on 702. Capitec Bank is an authorized FSP 46669.
WhatsApp Mandy
on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Mandy and the team. With regard to Brigadier Majing, I don't believe that she had a romantic relationship with Kate Madlala. It seems to me she had a formal relationship with Madlala. That's why she called him Mr. Madlala. If she was in a romantic relationship with Madlala, she couldn't have called him Mr. Madlala. David.
Hi, Mandy. So I'm just wondering what happens after she testified now. Does she just get in her car and go back to work, or how does this work? Thanks, Joe.
Remember, she's one of the people who was named in that statement that came from the presidency of people that have been identified. There were those 5 police officers at national level and then at Ekurhuleni as well. So there is that, I think it's a suspension, if I remember correctly. I stand to be corrected. But that there was prima facie evidence against them and there needs to be action taken against them. So I don't think it's as simple as her just getting in her car. And that's why we're seeing such expeditious processing of these cases. I think that's the one thing that they seem to have got right here with the Madlanga Commission, is that as they are hearing the testimony, they're making recommendations and action is being taken with actual criminal investigations.
702. Mandy Wiener.
Weekdays 12 to 1 p.m.
The National Student Financial Aid Scheme, NSFAS, has been giving an update today ahead of the 2026 academic year. It says it has approved funding for more than 660,000 students for the academic year, but still lots of issues with outstanding documents as well. Let's find out where they are. Wasim Karim is the CEO of NSFAS and joins us now. Wasim, good afternoon to you. What is the current status of applications for 2026?
Yeah, thanks, Mandy. So you'll know NSFAS operates across TVET colleges and universities. I'll start first with continuing students for universities, where about 436,000 have met the academic progression criteria to continue to receive NSFAS funding, and universities have received that. We do have an issue of about 4,000 students, mainly because of supplementary examinations, and we are working with institutions to conclude on that. And then similarly, we've got about 125,000 TVET students who have also met the academic progression criteria, and they've been informed as such, and we've got about 4,000 students whose results we're still dealing with. And then on the first time entering students, as you've confirmed, we've approved about 660,000 for funding. Of course, not all of them will find places. Spaces are limited at both TVET and at universities, but those students are cleared to register, and their registration fees are covered by NSFAS. And then we've got a large cohort who still have outstanding documents, and we've clarified what those outstanding documents are. We do want to try and help them, especially if they do have offer letters at universities and colleges, to be able to confirm whether they are approved for funding or not, so that they may register seamlessly as well.
The DA has raised some concern about a new system from NSFAS when it comes to your online accommodation portal, which payments to private accommodation providers are facilitated via a solutions partner. Are you confident in this system at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I think our systems are robust. I think, what we've done differently to previous years is start our processes much earlier, communicate more effectively, lay out, because we work on a lot of dependencies also in our system, let our external parties know what those dependencies are. So we have a seamless system that can work effectively, and we also engage our stakeholders on an ongoing basis. It's a very big system. As much as you can plan, you also have to be agile and flexible in that planning to ensure that you can execute effectively for the year ahead. But we are confident in that our systems are robust. Yeah.
Looking at the number of students whose applications have been rejected, 116,266. What is the reason most of these have been rejected, and what is your advice to people who may still be waiting?
Yeah, I mean, I think rejected is mainly our assessment for first-time entering students is only on the basis of financial eligibility. So those would be where we've checked third-party sources and the household income is more than 350,000. We do have the option of the missing middle loan, and we have offered those who qualify for the loan, made offers to them to uptake that. And then, of course, as I've mentioned, students do seem to struggle a little bit with the consent form and the declaration form. Unfortunately, we can't assess household income unless we have parental details and we have parental consent, and then we have issued guidelines on how those documents are meant to be submitted so we can support those students. Of course, also students who have been rejected do have the right to an appeal, but they have a maximum of 30 days to file that appeal with them.
Wasim, thank you very much for that update. Wasim Karim is the CEO of NSFAS, reporting back on what it looks like for the academic year 2026.
The average person will hear their boss say, quick one, 3,476 times during their life. And it's never a quick one. In fact, it's a very long one that forces you to cancel your anniversary dinner at the restaurant with the Michelin star chef and then work through the weekend only to arrive on Monday and be told that the client has decided to go in a different direction. Life taxes you. So invest tax-free from as little as 250 Rand per month.
Coronation. Trust is earned. Coronation is an authorized FSP.
Mzansi, it's official. MasterChef SA has a new home on ETV. The kitchen you love, the chefs you cheer for, and all the flavor you live for are now cooking on ETV to prep for season 6, dropping soon on ETV. Tuck into MasterChef SA Celebrity Edition, a light, fun and irresistible palate cleanser. It's the same MasterChef SA you love, serving up excitement from the first bite to the big season ahead. Now on ETV every Sunday at 6 p.m.
Building a life across borders starts with choices. Visas, a second passport, citizenship, your child's education abroad. And sometimes those choices can be overwhelming. For 30 years, Sable International has simplified global mobility, including cross-border tax, forex, and wealth management, helping you make the right choices with expertise and care. Build your future beyond borders. Visit us at sableinternational.com.
WhatsApp Mandy
on 072 702 1702.
Good Mandy. Mandy, you know the lady that's testifying right now there at Madlanga. She was fooled. People Kat didn't like her picture or like her. Kat was after her position. He was just after her position. So now she thinks Kat liked her. I know, man.
Shame. I tend to agree with you. I think maybe she believed that she was in a relationship with Kat Matlala, a romantic relationship, and he saw an opportunity here, because that's what he did. Is that he had a fleet of police officers who were essentially working for him in various positions. So I'm sure he saw it as an opportunity. But let's see. Well, that testimony is going to continue. And then, of course, we've got Tabiso, who is out on that scene on the East Rand, where there was that attempted hit on Vainandre Pretorius, who is a person who was mentioned at the Madlanga Commission. I think the Commission and the police need to get a handle on the situation. You cannot have, literally, we've had a witness killed, we've had a witness, an attempted hit on a witness. This cannot be. It's going to have such a chilling effect on people testifying. So keep listening to that. Thank you very much for listening to us today. The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk was brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger, think Nedbank Commercial Banking. It's 1 o'clock. This Eyewitness News is brought to you by Momentum. Financial advisors help you have a better shot at generational wealth. Speak to a Momentum accredited financial advisor. Momentum is part of Momentum Group Limited, an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
This is EWN.
Police combed the scene of an attempted hit on a man implicated in Madlanga inquiry and...
To us as the families, we call it 10 years of torture, 10 years of empty promises.
Inconsolable families of the Lilamine 3 camp to remember their loved ones. Good afternoon, I'm Maki Molapo. We begin in the East Rand.